morning, guys. Just here to talk about my early morning show on Sunday. I hear buffaloes, kind of dig it. Anybody excited about it? Buffaloes? All right, I guess, ladies and gentlemen, buffaloes do not dig the early morning show. Oh, and now for something completely normal. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my early morning Sunday show. It's the show that we now consider to be normal. Finally, took 2 years, but I am normal. So I say, right? For those tuning in for Cat, I have a really sad announcement to make. He's outside. He won't be in during the whole show. I just saved you a whole bunch of time. I really probably should announce that at the end of the show because I had 9 albums. I usually show 7. Do the math. How long does it take me to do 7? And now I'm going to try and show 9. Maybe I'll cut 1 short or 2 short. We'll see what happens. In the background today, Bill Withers. That's his greatest hits. Obviously, he passed. For those of you that did not know that, get on social media. But he did pass. Very sad. Great stuff. Let's face it, a lot of our favorite artists, 60s and 70s, and you know, we're going to have a rough few years coming up here. So, really enjoy his music. Yesterday, I did a Zoom meeting, or should we say a Zoom video with Norman Maslow, Mazzy. Really was a lot of fun, you know, to do this. We talked about 1971. Some albums that meant a lot to him, that meant a lot to me, and it was just, that was nice, but for me it was just to have this interaction, to talk back and forth. Really, I didn't even think we're filming. It was just like sitting, you know, right, you know, with Mazzy, and we're just talking about some record albums, and that was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed that. And you know, Mazzy's done a few of these with some other folks, and it's a lot of fun. And I've done Zoom. We did it with my kids last week. We did Zoom. We played games because my youngest son works for Zoom. He's quite busy right now, and so it was a great time. So you know, check out Mazzy's channel, Norman Maslow, if you want to watch that. It really was just a great time, and I had a lot of fun. Mazzy, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Do that anytime you ever get bored. It won't just pop on, talk music. It's all cool with me. He knows a lot more than I do. It's still just fun though. You know, speaking of that, you know, a lot of people do live streams. And I could do one, but I'd just be a damn boring host. I'm kind of scared to do that. I don't know. I'm not the greatest conversationalist, but Randy from Dead Wax 66, he does one like Friday night and Saturday. They go on for 4 or 5 hours, and I'll get in. I'll comment once in a while, but it's just, you kind of hear everyone, you know, the comments going. It's a wild party happening in there. James Griffith, he's doing one on Sundays that I try to get in on and say hi to everyone over in the UK. There's Zeke does it, and Zeke the Final Geek. And his is usually Saturday morning. I try to pop on that one. And Beth's going to be doing game night. Well, she did game night. I guess I missed game night, so congrats, Beth. You know, everyone's trying different things to get into it, to interact. And, well, I just don't know what who knows? Maybe sometime, but I don't know. So let's begin with some music, folks. It seemed to me I had a story to tell about the week. I don't know. It's beautiful weather out there. It was really kind of nice for the most part. Traveled some, you know, saw some people that were, you know, just making sure they're doing okay. You know, they're working, you know, thank them for what they're doing at their job, and try to give them some best practices and move on. But just different world. But you can travel a lot faster because there's a lot more cops out there. Really is a lot of cops out there, but no one stopped me. We're going to begin. This is Stereolab Emperor Tomato Ketchup. And I was going to be playing this CD, but for the life of me, I can't figure out where the heck I put it at. I don't know. This is a reissue, and Stereolab, just an incredible musicians. I mean, a group. Moen Rocks. That's Jacob Moen Rocks, Moen. He really likes this group, and we've talked about this. This came out in 1996. These guys, they formed in 1990. They broke in 2009. It's your classic story. Boy meets girl. Boy, girl start a band. Boy, girl break up after 14 years. Band breaks up. The classic. They were influenced by krautrock, by lounge, by 60s pop rock. You hear it all in this album and in their other albums too. What they do is they put kind of a drone. They have this electronic drone going on, and then they build things above it. The lyrics are done in French. What's it? The name of the guy is I'm trying to think of his name here. Tim Game. He's from England. And the lady, Jesus, forget it. She's from French, and she sings everything in French for the most part, and it's very political. But since it's in French, I wouldn't know it's political. It just has groove, it has dance, it just has a really neat feel to it. And even if they have a single chord like trance going on, they build it into other things, and there's just this complex music happening. Here's how it opens up. The vinyl, it's a 3-album set, and it came black. Hey, what? I thought for sure there was some clear. Am I just nuts on here or what? Could be. It is black vinyl. Okay, it's a different one. It does, though. It did have, it came out of here. It's a nice big poster on there. Poster on there. That's nice, isn't it? And then on the back, they have all the information. We got tired of trying to read CDs, so this is like the old CD opening, but now it made it for us old people that still can't read the back of a CD. Now we can read this. Stereolab, they were really big, especially in the 90s, and they did put out some amazing music. It's electronic, but there's so much more, and if you've never checked them out, I just couldn't recommend it more. Just really good. I think this was the most popular one, Emperor Tomato Ketchup. I bought one of their other reissues. They're not the cheapest thing in the world to buy, but they are so dang good. Well worth looking out. Stereolab. Okay? God, thirsty. This one's been shown. Steve Bender, you even showed this thing. Zonk Man is wondering, well, Steve, you haven't showed it yet. I have it. Black Market Brass, and it's called the Undying Thirst. My goodness, I can't read. And the Undying Thirst was, this is their second album from Black Market Brass. This came right from Coal Mine, so it was a pre-order. So you got this beautiful colored vinyl going on. These guys formed in 2002. Again, their second album. They formed in Minneapolis. It was a 10-piece band. I believe it's an 11-piece band. What I love about these guys is their influence is Afro-funk, Afro-beat, especially from West Africa, where these guys were getting down and getting funky in the 70s. So that's where they've taken their inspiration. And you hear it and you feel it, and I'm going to play you a sample of one of their songs on here, A War Room, because, to get that, you have to have the right kind of percussion, and they have nitrous charged percussion going on. The horns are sharp, they're loud. There is an Afrobeat type groove happening. It's not the same though. I mean, it's not when you pull up something from Fela Kuti or Witch, there is a different feel, but that's because those guys were living what they're doing, and their influences are so strong with Hendrix and with James Brown and Sly and the Stone. This is still, it's an incredibly good album. If you don't know a lot about Afrobeat, man, you're safe on this one because there's more complexity to some of the songs, and just to have that big of orchestra going, incredible music. Really, totally enjoyed this. Well worth picking up. Oh, look at that. Hey, Eric Weinbender, I cracked the crease there. Look at that. It looks like an army. The army's coming in. It's the Black Market Brass Army. Super stuff. Just came out on Coal Mine. Well worth looking at, picking it up. If you like funk, if you like hard funk, if you like that Afro sound, man, you won't go wrong with those Minneapolis boys playing Africa. Talk about two opposite places in the whole wide world, huh? I think this next one I saw on a variety of channels. One was Dead Wax 66 with Randy. I think he showed it. Vinyl Richie, no doubt, showed it. Norman Masloff, Mazzy might have shown it. It's West Coast Nuggets, and it's called, you see that, Transparent Days. It's a 2 LP set. It was a Rhino re-release. Man, say that one. There you go. You want something to do today? Say re-release 5 times real quick. That gives you something to work on. I'm not going to be successful. It came with this nice little paper. Isn't that nice? Look at that. And it has the groups on there. Kind of show this. I don't have Cat here sitting on me. So what this does, this album, it looks at the summer of love. It looks at what was coming out on the West Coast. It was inspirational, shall we say, for the summer of love. So it's more, it's not the hits. There's folk blues on here. There is garage rock, pop. There's Baroque pop, there's psychedelic. It's a variety of different music. One side is more garage, one side is more psychedelic. So they kind of put it together on the different sides. The music came from the Warner Brother vault, so they went to the family of Warner Brother labels, such labels as York and Autumn and Valiant and Reprise, and they took that music. And they went and they combed through that, the archivists, and they put this thing together. It's a really fun listen, really good stuff for those of you that like, the 60s music, shall we say the left of the dial type stuff. Hey, I'm doing a series called Left of the Dial. Shameless promoting. You would really enjoy this. I mean, there are some hits, some groups that were a little bit bigger. We have on here the Peanut Butter Conspiracies on here, the Doves, the Tikis, the Collectors. There's the Electric Prunes, Clear Light. That's what I'm going to be playing you. Dawn's Lights the Way by Clear Light. Love has a song on here. The Association. But it's the songs that kind of fit into this. It's really a neat thing, and I think you can still find it out there. It is called West Coast Nuggets, Transparent Days. Well worth seeking out. Very enjoyable listen.
Throw it away. No one needs leftovers anyway. A chocolate truck filled up with the trash. Is anybody hungry? Oh, say I didn't ask. Evil never hungers supply. Listen and I'll tell you why. Lives on the bottom of the sky. And that's why. That's why.
Vinyl Me Please had this, and I bought this. This is Donald Byrd's Fancy Free. Came out in, what was it, 1969. Now, Donald Byrd, he's from Detroit. He's a trumpeter from Detroit, born in 32. He was a hard bop, but then he got more into, shall we say, funk and R&B, and a little contemporary jazz. This is what I find interesting about Donald Byrd. He put out a lot of albums, just on black vinyl, Blue Note. But in '54, he received his BA degree from Wayne State University in Detroit. In the mid-50s, he also got his master's degree. In 1976, he got his law degree. In the early 80s, it might have been 82, he got his doctorates in music. This man was so much. This man was amazing at what he did. And he was an educator. He was a teacher, but also out there making music. Now, Fancy Free. This is a great listen. It came out in '69. It was the first time he used the electric piano in his music, and you have that. You have this great percussion. It's a funky percussion. Think Miles Davis, Bitches Brew. That's the feel of that percussion, and it's great. There's a flute going on, and then there's the horns. No. Yeah, there is some horns obviously happening on here. The music, it's complex, but it's danceable, shall we say. After he did this album, he went more into he formed the Blackbirds, and it became more R&B. It really was his last jazz album he did, probably until the 80s. By the time he got back into jazz, though, his lips just weren't quite the same, and the music never quite came out. But this is just really, really neat from a man that was so much more and really gave back and helped and educated people. Amazing stuff. But totally, it's just grooves. There's some softer stuff on there, and I'm not a fan for his softer stuff. I like funk groove. You're going to do me a funk groove album? By God, give me the funk. Really has it nicely. Two for next. I showed these when I did a thing with actually, when I came back from Chicago. I never talked about them, and I finally am. I went to Chicago in early December, I believe, and I'm still showing that stuff. But it's the two Buddy Guy albums that Buddy Guy autographed, because I went to Buddy Guy's club, which was across the street from where we were playing. There it was. Almost didn't go, but decided, oh well, I'm just going to go because I'm here, and if I don't, I'll just feel bad about it. And there's Buddy Guy on stage. What the heck? Then he did autographs, and I did have him sign these. And really fun stuff. You know, he was born in 36, so he's getting up there in age, in Louisiana. And Buddy Guy, he's known for his high energy stage presence. And also he has these almost like tortured vocals that he puts onto his music. This one here, Blues Alive and Well, this came out in 2018. And it's his 18th studio album, and it won him a Grammy. Now, as the blues guys get older, everyone wants to play with them. And so, like on here, he has Cognac, where Keith Richards and Jeff Beck play with them. And Keith Richards' guitar sounds more like a throwback, Buddy Guy has more of a contemporary feel to his guitar, and Jeff Beck, he's the future. He just sounds like he's somewhere out there in the future. Doesn't Jeff Beck always sound that way, though? The title track, it's filled with these short, jabbing licks, and the solos, they're not so much thought about, but they're what word do I want to say? Emoted. It comes from the soul, and you can feel it. You don't hum them, but you feel it in your soul. 9 Below Zero is a song. It's a Sonny Boy Williamson song he does. And then he has Milking Mother For Ya. It's the very last one. It's just him and his guitar playing. So you get the softer side. It's a 2-album set. Really was a fun listen. Really glad I had it. He autographed it. What more can you ask for? Then we have this one. This is a live set from 2002, live at Legends, which is his club that he did. It's just a fun listen to hear him out there, hear his power. But the last 3 songs are actually studio songs. Everyday Needs. There was Polka Dot Love is one. And on Polka Dot Love, it's just kind of a slower blues played in overdrive. The next one is Coming For You. And Coming For You is a freewheeling blues funk fest happening. The Memphis Horns play on it. That thing just rocks and goes. It is so damn good. Price of admission right there. For me, Coming For You, it is. And then Country Blue, it's just a soulful version of a Muddy Waters classic. The live stuff, it's his hits, it's music from other people, it's just whatever he feels. Fun listen. Great stuff. Hey, here's something. This is from Stereolab. So for those of you, if you're up early and you like downloads, take that. You can get that Stereolab. Okay, got it? Here is another one I'm going to give you. If I can get it out here, folks. We're going to talk about the Sadies. What a great group. This is a great group. And the album's Darker Circles. And there you go. That's the download for that. Okay. These guys came out of Toronto in '94. Rock and roll, country, western. Darker Circles is their 2010 album. These people have worked with and played with so many people. It's like the backing band, that everybody wants to have. They backed Nico Case. They played with John Doe, Mark Langford, Neil Young, the Mekons, Garth Hudson, a lot of Canadians because they're out of Canada. And yet they keep putting out their own albums, and they put out quality music. Like the title says, Darker Circles. This is a little darker album. And you feel that tension in there, and there's this dread that's happening, and kind of this ill fate. The very first song, Postcards. No, that's not the first one. Another Year Again. It kind of gets it started, and you're feeling just this. It's just this kind of this dread, this gloominess that's happening in the back, but yet the guitar playing is so darn good, but it's a little understated. There's Cut Corners, and that song, it has a sadness to it, but it's just punctuated with these dark guitar solos. It's just excellent sounding. I'm going to play a bit from, what's it called? Another Day Again. So, Another Day Again, it kicks it up a bit. It's a little more upbeat. And the guitars of Travis and Dallas Good. The Good Brothers. They were good brothers. Their parents had the Good Band or something. It was all good. It was all good in the Good household. But their guitar solos, it takes the bad vibes, but they make them sound prettier. It's really a neat thing. There's songs on here, 10 more songs. It kind of starts almost psychedelic, goes into folk rock, and then kind of ends at alt country. Then there is, what was it, Violet and Jeffrey Lee. It has a Byrds type feel. Such a great group. Really, anything you buy from the Sadies, you're going to be happy with. These guys are super consistent. One of those great bands that not a lot of people know about. Take a look at them. Look into them. Almost done, getting along. Got 2 more albums. This is Vespertine by Bjork. This one does come. Look at how she does pretty stuff. I had vinyl, colored vinyl out there. What the hell? Why is everything not colored? Oh well. I don't know what I was looking at beforehand. This is my favorite Bjork album of all time. I absolutely adore this album. I think it's wonderful. This is her 4th album that she made, and she made it in, when did she make this thing? In 2001, Vespertine. And it's filled with micro beats. She called this her laptop album. It was the first one that she made off of her laptop. And she did a lot of it at home. And she took all these sounds from home, from shuffling cards to things in the kitchen. Took all these sounds, it was thousands of samples, put them together and created what she called microbeats. And you hear that in the music. It is such a fun listen because you listen to what is going on. What is going on underneath her singing. Her voice is beautiful. It soars. There's violins. There's choruses. She used an Inuit choir when she was out traveling. But the choruses soar and come down. It's, some of her stuff can be a little odd. Sure, there's odd stuff in here, but it has this beauty to it. It's glorious. It's complex. Obviously, it's my favorite Bjork album, so I'm going to get it all, ooh. But it is. It was really, really nice. It's from Barnes & Noble, 50% off. No, the sale ended in January. Great stuff. Final one, times are tense. You might be, oh my goodness, you think about things, you might get a little tense. I don't normally with everything, but sometimes you need the right music, right? Johann Sebastian Bach. Let me tell you, if you need to calm down, if you just want to get to a happy place, you play Johann Sebastian Bach. And it's just the most beautiful stuff in the whole wide world. One of my all-time favorite composers. This has a couple pieces of religious music on here. One is, the first side one is the Magnificat. It was done when he went to Leipzig. He actually went to Leipzig in 1723, and I believe he did this one, God, it's about 1730. God, I can't remember. It's sung in German, but during, in religious services, except if it's a high service, like Easter, Christmas, Pentecost, then it was done in Latin, which was odd because the Lutheran Church in Germany, you didn't do Latin, but the one he was at in Leipzig would still do Latin. And it's just very, because I was very Catholic, and you just didn't do it. It's very Baroque, and you hear the orchestration, this Baroque orchestration. It's just beautiful. The brass is incredible, the oboes. And then in come the soloists, and he uses 5 different soloists. The other one is Canticle number 187. Again, that was used the 7th Sunday after Trinity. If that would be when they did, it was around August 4th. Looking at the holiday of the Trinity, 7th Sunday. I don't know why that one. It bases a lot of its lyrics off the book of Romans. And there are 7 movements. 3 movements are done before the sermon. 4 movements are done after the sermon. Why 3 and 4? Because after the sermon, you're so damn bored, you need something to lift you up. So let's give them a pow of Baroque music. Great listen. Johann Sebastian Bach. Love the man. I think he's great. Okay, I went over 30 minutes. I told you, I apologize. I could cut something, but I'm not, because I showed it. It's one and done. Appreciate you dropping by. Thanks for putting up with all my music, my videos last week. One of them's a repeat. Don't have to watch that. I will have next part of my series for Left of the Dial that I keep forgetting what the hell I call it. That's okay, because I deleted the first one, put it back on. So please watch that. Mazzy, Norm Mazzoff, thank you very much for that talking with you yesterday. It was just a great time. Folks, reach out, talk, whatever. Hit me up, Facebook, whatever, you want to chat. Hey, wherever. I'm here. I love music, but I talk about just about anything. Thank you so much. Enjoy your week. Bye.